figured that's like official.
That's right. You ready to get started? All right, I'd like to call the Planning Commission meeting in June 27th, 2024 order. Our first item of business is to approve the minutes from the May 23rd, 2024 meeting. They were included in our packets, so if there are no corrections or additions, we'd like to ask for a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Okay, a motion and a second. Last chance for any comments. All in favor of approving the minutes of May 23rd, 2024, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, we're now at our open forum for any items that are on the agenda. So, is there anyone in the audience that's not on the agenda that has something to say about anything, any of the items that are on the agenda? Okay, it doesn't look like we have first to speak. Our first subdivision and land development application for this evening is the Chester County Solid Waste Authority's booster pump plan, which I believe we saw this previously. And Jen has a review letter that I'd like to ask you to go through. We do have somebody here from the Solid Waste Authority.
Yeah, if you want to give a brief, just introduction of the project, as Gary said, you guys did see this. They had the zoning hearing application come in for the minimum lot size and a setback. But this is ultimately on corner of Reservoir and 322. You're standing looking north, it would be on the left-hand side on the existing Pleasant View Welding property, not the one that's being built right now. But if you just want to tell them the purpose of the pump station and who it will benefit, we'll go from there.
Yeah, as Jen said, this is not the first time that this project has come before the Planning Commission. But yeah, so the project, the booster pump station, the goal is to provide water to residents of Salisbury Township, Lancaster County, as well as Honeybrook Township, Chester County. So the booster pump station will be subdivided from a current property that's about 10 acres in size, 10.8 acres in size, and the new lot size will be 0.4946 or 0.5 acres in size. And so, thank you for considering the topic, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have about the application.
You can hit the review letter. So it's a fairly straightforward plan. You saw the plans, it's just pump station, a driveway, stormwater management basin, and some screening, vegetative screening around the pump station itself. The lots meet the zoning ordinance requirements with the variance that was granted for lot size for the booster pump station. Residual lot complies. For lot area, impervious cover. The comment in the review letter about the lot lines and right of way, that's been resolved. We took care of that one. They'll show the riparian and buffers and put just general notes on the plans regarding those regulations for lighting and performance standards, rules and such. Subdivision, land development, ordinance. Have a couple basic things to add to the plans, just for clarity. They'll have to do a financial security for the required improvements, an improvements agreement. They have to get their approvals, from the water authority and sewer authority for the inspections. Their in access is off of Reservoir, it is not off of 322, so there's no need to involve PennDOT. They have just a couple waiver requests. One is you're supposed to have a 200-foot separation between driveways and intersections with arterial roads. That proposed access driveway is 175 feet north of the intersection of Reservoir Road and Horseshoe Pike. So they are asking for a waiver for that distance. The driveway entrance has clear sight distance, and the only traffic is going to be the occasional maintenance truck that's pulling in there. Coinciding with that is to have a proposed 12-foot wide driveway with no curbing as opposed to the 20-foot wide requirement for a curved driveway for non-residential uses. Again, the justification is the limited use and traffic of that driveway. Landscaping should be at the discretion of the planning commission. We noted they do have screening around the booster pump station is shielded from view of the roadway properties. Planning commission should comment on whether that is suitable, if there's any additional landscaping you wish to see. And the last waiver is from the additional requirements of the wellhead protection district. Again, it's a minor development in nature, with little impact to the surrounding aquifer. Stormwater, we had minor comment about the erosion sediment control plan. They do show compliance with the peak rate runoff and the groundwater recharge volumes. Couple of slight modifications to the bioretention design. In terms of dewatering the facility, from the bottom basin elevation, the basin's only like 1.5 feet deep total to the spillway. You can't daylight a pipe out of there without letting it all the way down to the stream, into the right of way. So they are going to, I believe, and Chris can comment, our discussion was they could put a pipe through the berm so that there would be a way that if they put a pump inside that basin to pump it out, it could be discharged through that pipe and come out in a safe spot, outside that berm, without having to pump it just anywhere, outside the berm and creating an issue. So that's how we were addressing that one. The others are just general kind of administrative comments. So, do you have any questions on the waivers they were requesting or any of the review letter comments?
Is there a waiver letter?
I don't remember if they had one or if they just noted on the plans. I think they were just noted on the plans. So you could use the waivers, as identified in our technical review letter, because I do have them bolded, with waiver request acknowledged.
How many trips a day? Like, does somebody go there one time a day, check pressures, or whatever?
So it'd probably be 2 to 3 times a week. There'd be one person there for 3 to 4 hours. That would be to monitor chlorination of the booster pump station. So that's the intended traffic. And there will be a security fence around it that will be locked, so no unauthorized access to the facility will happen.
Did I understand last time you were here it's going to be offered for dedication to Northern Chester County?
This will actually be dedicated to the Honeybrook Borough. We're working on an intermunicipal agreement with them where we are paying for the development of the public water line, and then with the intent of dedicating this to the Honeybrook Borough Water Authority so that they can take over operation and maintenance of the water line. And so this booster pump station is a part of that project.
Right. And I did lie, they do actually have a waiver request letter dated April 30th that was bound in their stormwater report, so I'm not sure if Christie uploaded that, but you can reference that letter if you wish right away.
Any questions?
Any comments on the landscaping for, as we noted on prior plans, for minor land developments, landscaping is at the discretion of the planning commission versus the full calculation that's in the ordinance.
Is that up against, what property is that up against?
It's kind of the southeastern corner of their existing property where the older brick building, the Pleasant View building is. Yeah, down close to the intersection.
So it might be King's, Karen King, I believe.
Yeah.
Did it shows the screens, did it say what they were?
I did not see.
I didn't see what they are.
I believe it was gonna be arborvitae, hedge screens, privacy screens.
Yeah, I thought it was on here, hold on. Unless I made it up in my head. Yeah, it's on sheet 5 of 10. There's a planning
Oh, yeah.
schedule. Emerald green arborvitae, minimum 5-foot height. And there's a total of 52 of them proposed. Did you guys hear my nose talking to the floor?
Yeah, sorry, I missed that, I didn't see
No,
that.
I knew it was there somewhere.
How many do they get?
Well, they can get 10 to 12 feet. My only concern is that sometimes they can become fearful and they get browsed up with the nose up. And sometimes the deer don't touch them.
Hopefully the deer will be on.
They destroyed the ones that all around my parents' house, and you can just see them up to the 5 feet.
So we're starting out, what's the fence, 6-foot fence?
I believe so. It was possible,
Yeah, there's the detail.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Yeah,
And, it's fabric, so it's gonna be,
6 foot, it looks like chain link fence with the fabric, and there's a foot of the barbed wire on top. The double swing gate for entry in the front.
how long does it take to get 7 feet off the wall, right? For
They
starting
grow
with 5.
pretty fast. Not as fast as some species.
It was gonna take a couple of years.
Yeah. They don't do it on some. But if they start out at 5, they don't go back to 8 or 9 feet.
Right.
So the way they have it placed looks okay to me. That's, they're gonna shield the fence, and there's no residences anywhere nearby. The generator's gonna exercise probably once a week. That's towards 3.2, so that's not, shouldn't affect anything. So I guess if there's no other questions, we should probably take action on our recommendation for the waivers first. Is that? I thought you were pointing to something. They did, the waiver requests are in the review letter, and there's also a waiver request letter that was dated
April 30th.
April 30th. How do we feel about the waivers? One is the width of the road, the second one is the wellhead protection, and the other one is 175 feet, 25 foot less than what the requirement is for the driveway off the intersection of Reservoir and Horseshoe. We okay with someone making a recommendation for all three of them together? If there's a preference to take them individually, it's probably up to you.
Just a quick question, Ken, on this width of the driveway. Now, most non-residential driveways are going to be commercial operations and have a lot more activity.
Right, so usually it's 20 foot to allow for two-way.
If there's only gonna be one vehicle there 3 times a week.
Right, it's similar, there's that, pump station on Cupola Road too. I think at that time we allowed the more narrow driveway and, it's always just one vehicle, parked there, here and there.
I'll make that recommendation to it.
All three. Need a second?
Not second.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor of recommending to the supervisors to grant the relief listed in the 3 waivers? Signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, and then, I guess you're looking for a recommendation for, what is the preliminary final?
Right, so it'd be conditional final plan
Conditional
approval, contingent upon, that's my letter to.
Okay, 13th letter. So that's the request. Is there any items in here that we should discuss? We probably should discuss it before I ask for a motion. No discussion, ask for a motion. To recommend the supervisors conditional final approval based on Technicon letter dated June 13, 2008.
Make a motion to it.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Questions, comments? All in favor of the motion and second to recommend conditional final, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. There you go, sir.
So it'll be on the Board of Supervisors agenda for July 10th, so meeting, second Wednesday. All right?
Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
We have no zoning hearing board applications, conditional use applications, and we have one other business item, which is a waiver request for Locust Drive paving from the Faulkner subdivision located at 58 Danton Road. Jen, if you might want to give us the history on this.
Sure. Back about 10 years ago, this was called the Faulkner tract. This is at the very end, you go all the way down Danton Road till you're basically at the sewer authority gate, to the left. Yeah, it's just wooded, track back there, but they subdivided, created, 4 lots, and I believe they severed transferable development rights from the remaining of the tract. 3 of the lots, were purchased by, Benuel, Amos, and Elam. Those 3 all related. They each built a house on them. One of the lots does have a rural occupation on it. So those were developed back around 2016, and they, in developing their lots, took responsibility for doing the site improvements for Locust Drive. So Locust Drive comes off of Campman, goes straight back, it turns to the right, and then the 3 driveways come off of that. They had received, that subdivision plan received a waiver at the time of the subdivision to allow the cross-section for that street, private street, to be a 6-inch stone base and 2.5 inches of airport mix paving. So back in 2006, when they developed the properties, they put the stone base in. There's a stormwater facilities, subsurface facilities underneath the stone drive, but they hadn't done the paving. So that was left as is. The township is still holding a financial security for the paving. Since it was put in, the township hadn't received any complaints or issues, and the prior township administration never saw a reason to call on that letter of credit that's out there for the security to force the paving. About a year ago, or sometime, probably about a year ago now, last year, township had received a complaint about some stone washout from Locust Drive on Adjournment Road. So we had sent letters to the owners back there asking that they now pave Locust Drive as required by that subdivision, and then also so we could, release that financial security that's being held. They paved about the first 30 foot of it coming off Dampman. Since then, we haven't received any, the township hasn't received any further complaints about washout. So the owners back there, maybe a couple of them are here so you can ask questions, did put in a waiver request to the township to waive the requirement from that original subdivision plan to finish, paving the balance of that private street. In consideration of that request, I did do a site visit back there. I drove the street. There was no signs of erosion that I could see. There's no potholes. It's well graded. Maintained along there. So there wasn't anything of significant concern that I saw over time. In terms of traffic, their waiver request letter that they submitted indicate it's primarily horse and buggy traffic back there. The one lot, as they noted, does have a rural occupation, and they indicate the largest trucks that go back there are kind of a box truck style truck. So their request is to be granted relief to not have to pave, the entire length of Locust Drive. And as such, if that waiver request is granted, then the township would return or release that financial security that's there. So, any questions you have that I can answer or the landowners can answer, please let us know.
So I remember when this subdivision was done, or when you have a cabinet shop or a wood shop back there? That's what's back there. I remember talking about deliveries were pretty minimal. But did I understand you say there's some stormwater under the driveway?
There's underground stone infiltration trenches, I believe, in 2 different locations that are partially under this private street.
Is there any concern that by not paving over the top of that there would be any failure in the stormwater beds underneath?
I think
They're probably covered with fabric, I would imagine.
yeah, they are covered with fabric on top, and I believe there's pretty substantial depth of cover on top of them. I didn't see any signs when I did my site visit that would, it seemed to indicate that there's any malfunction, that system, that it's not draining. They have inlets along the sides that the runoff, that the runoff drains into to get into that system. So there was no signs of erosion around those inlets, and those inlets can't drain into that infiltration system. And the area wasn't saturated to give any indication that, it's not draining properly and it's overly full.
So if we would recommend and the supervisors would grant the waiver, what would happen if 3, 4, 5 years down the road there is some erosion, you would just go to them and they would have it taken care of?
There is, between the landowners on there is like a shared driveway, private street agreement, that talks about responsibility for maintenance of that street. So,
Can I ask you a question? How often have you gone out there and maintained that street, or maintained the stone? Like, you grade it once a year?
Once or twice a year, yeah.
Okay, so that explains why it's in good shape.
Well, it says that the 4th lot is vacant. Is there any likelihood it will become unvacant in the next area?
I believe they actually expressed, they said if it was to come up for sale, the family of brothers that lives out there said that they would be interested in buying that fourth lot. But I believe he did approach Joanne recently, and she's not ready to sell. Is that correct?
Right, no,
So,
Is that still the Faulkner family that owns that?
I think it's Margaret's daughter, Joanna Haas or Joanna Haas.
Oh, I saw Hawes in there somewhere, okay.
Yeah, she's the current owner. I remember from when they did the subdivision, I think her mom was Margaret Faulkner. Not sure if Margaret was older, and they were doing this, but I think that's the daughter of the original subdivider that still owns that tract.
And that lot's part of the maintenance agreement as well.
Yeah, that's lots part of the maintenance agreement. It's a heavily wooded lot. I think that lot has quite a few constraints on it, like streams and things, so it would be a very limited, development that goes back there. I think there's lots of zoning ag, so, you can't.
But it's
it's
only one lot, so it's not, that lot can't be further subdivided.
Correct. Yeah, in the aerial, it's this flat
It's
strip
that
coming
flat.
off. Yeah, right at the
It's lot 4.
edge. Yeah, that's lot 4.
Any questions?
I have no questions.
No.
I guess I just do if it's a shared driveway and they're maintaining it. What would you, why can't we get to maintain it?
I think the paving requirement here, technically, it's considered a private street because of the number of houses that's on there. Usually a shared driveway, I believe, by the ordinance is limited to 2 lots. After that, it gets classified as a private street. Generally, private streets have to be built to the same standards as the township, which is why it's required to be paved in full.
So, no other comments? Do a motion and a second to, I assume the support's there. It seems like the support's there to recommend that the supervisors grant release through the waiver. Okay,
I'll second.
have a second. Any further comments? All in favor of recommending to the supervisors that the waiver be granted, signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Troy, you were the second.
Yes.
Levi, were you the first? Okay. So the planning commission took a position of support. That gets forwarded to the Board of Supervisors. So at their meeting on July 10th, the Board of Supervisors will make the final determination on your waiver request.
Thank you. Will they get noticed? They won't get noticed.
I'll send a letter, usually whenever the planning commission takes action, like on the booster pump station plans. I send a letter documenting the planning commission's actions and notifying the applicants that it moves to the Board of Supervisors meeting. So you guys will get a letter in the mail that just documents their position and confirms the date and time of the supervisors meeting. So.
Okay? Thank you. Thanks for coming out. We're now at the point of the agenda that I'll open up the floor for any other items. I see we have a Boy Scout here. I assume he's doing that for his merit badge. You want to talk a little bit about what the merit badge is that you're going for?
Communications.
And you have to just attend so many public meetings.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you off that easy.
So you're required to say more than yeah.
I was going to say, my boys were in Scouts. What rank were you?
I'm first class, and there's 3 other ranks till Eagle.
Yeah, do you remember what they're all called?
Star, Flag, Eagle.
Very good.
And you're going to pursue your Eagle?
Yes.
All right.
Very
That's
good.
good.
Is your troop going to summer camp this year?
Yep.
Where are you going?
Okanagan.
Okay.
Actually, right here.
Very nice. What merit badges are you taking at camp?
Communication,
thanks for coming out. You picked a short meeting, so you can get out of here pretty quickly.
You did? Did you have any questions about what their goal? Like, no, I have no questions, I just want to go.
So good luck over there.
Yeah. Jerry, you have anything?
No, I'm fine.
The meetings are listed there, the upcoming meetings, workshop on the 3rd, supervisors on the 10th, and then if we have items for the agenda, we'll have a meeting on the 25th.
Just revisiting last month's meeting about the comp plan update, is there anything new on that?
I have not heard anything other than I think they missed, or they're going for the fall funding, I think. That's what I understood. I think that's all I heard. So I guess what happens sometimes. So if there's nothing else, we have a motion and a second to adjourn.
No?
I assume everybody's okay with that. All right, thanks everyone for coming out. Good luck for now. Keep your dad straight there.